Oak Park family. I'm here today with Elise. Say hi, Elise.
Hi.
And Connor.
Hi.
And we're going to show you how to make Play-Doh at home. It's a really fun activity, and probably you can make it with things you find in your house. But you have to ask your parents for permission and their help first, right, guys?
Yes.
Okay, let's make some Play-Doh. So here we have all of our ingredients, and we have a recipe. So we wrote out our recipe. For this Play-Doh recipe, you need 1 cup of flour, 1/3 cup of salt, 1/2 cup of water, 2 teaspoons of oil. Oh, Elisa's showing us our measuring cups. Yes. Not yet. 4 drops of food coloring and 5 drops of oil if you want it to smell good. So we're going to use our measuring spoon to put all of these ingredients together in the bowl. I'm going to sit over here and the kids are going to help make the Play-Doh. Ready, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing we need to do is measure 1 cup of flour.
All right. Can I do it, Mom?
Yes, you may.
That's the biggest one.
So, yes, that's right. That is the biggest one. Very good. Hold on. Ready? We have to scoop deep into the bag.
I don't really
And
like
fill
the
it
smell
up
of
all the
flour.
way up. Okay, wait. I know you do. Hold on. Okay, and then we pour our 1 cup of flour into our mixing bowl. Okay, pour it in there.
Now mix
Okay, not yet. So first we pour in our flour. Now that our flour is poured into our bowl, we can check that off of our recipe, right? We can go ahead and check flour off of our recipe. The next thing we need to add to our bowl is what?
Salt.
Salt. 1/3 cup of salt. So Connor is going to measure 1/3 cup of salt for us. So let's show them what salt looks like. This is salt. You can find this probably in your kitchen. Okay, Connor, go ahead and you can pour
Can I help you?
1/3 cup of salt.
That's long enough.
We have to fill it all the way up to make 1/3 cup.
Then I can mix it.
And then we'll mix it in a moment. Sure, yep. Keep going. Fill it all the way up. A little bit more. Make sure your measuring spoon's perfect are all the way full, friends, or you won't have the right measurement. Okay, pour that in with the flour. Excellent. So now we've added our flour and our salt. We can check off those 2 things on our recipe. Next, we need to add 1/2 cup of water. So we have water ready to go right here. We need to pour it into 1/2 cup measure.
I do the thing.
1 second. We have to measure it into our 1/3 cup. Our measuring cups are stuck together. 1/3 cup. I mean 1/2 cup, excuse me. Fill up 1/2 cup. Okay, there's 1/2 cup of water.
Oh, I got it.
And then we pour that right in there. Okay? And we mix it slowly so we don't spill all over, okay? Perfect. Keep mixing. Okay, so I'm going to mark our 1/2 cup of water right off our list.
That's wrong.
Next, we need to do 2 teaspoons of vegetable oil. That's right, or canola oil. Here's a 1 teaspoon measure. So we need to do 2 of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 of these. You may hold this spoon while we help pour. Ready? We're going to pour. Connor, stop stirring for just a moment, okay? There's 1 teaspoon and 2 teaspoons of oil. Perfect. Excellent measuring. We want to make sure we don't pour too much in there because our ingredients won't work well if we do it wrong. Can I stir for just a moment? Let's see if we can get the right consistency, okay? We're going to stir up all of this. You can use any mixing bowl you have in your house. We chose a clear one so that you could see us mixing in the video, and you'll see your Play-Doh starting to form. In just a second, we're going to add 4 drops of food coloring to show that we can change the color.
And it not done, Mommy, yet?
Okay, so now these guys chose, wait, we have to mark off our teaspoons of oil on our recipe. These guys chose to use blue food coloring. So we're gonna add 4 drops, and I think when we do food coloring, we usually leave the drops to the grown-ups because food coloring can be kind of a big mess. So I'm gonna drop 4 drops. Ready? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can do a little more or a little less to make it a brighter or a darker color if you choose. Okay, we have to mix it all up. And our food coloring is turning our Play-Doh blue. Oh, I think we're gonna need some more food coloring.
Yeah, we might.
We're gonna need a little bit more.
It's like blue, like
So remember, that's right, blue, just like Oak Park Panthers. Very good, Connor. So we're gonna add another 4 or 5 drops because our Play-Doh is not changing colors the way we're hoping. And then we're gonna mix it all together. And in a minute, once it's mixed a bit, you can use your hands to mix it. But you don't want to use your hands right away because otherwise your hands will turn blue too. Food coloring is kind of a mess like that.
no.
Okay, and the last thing we want to do is we want to add a little bit of essential oil. So these guys wanted to add orange. If you want your Play-Doh to smell, you can add a few drops of oil or even a packet of Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid has a nice scent too. So Elise, can you help me add a few drops of oils? We said 5 drops. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect.
Mix
And
it.
that's right. And then we mix it. Excellent. Very good. And so Play-Doh is not an exact science, guys, and this Play-Doh is looking like it might need a tiny bit more liquid. So I'm going to add just a droplet more water so that it's not too wet, but we want to make it mixable. And then I'm going to use my hands to finish mixing it up here, I think, because we want to get it to a good consistency where we can build things with our Play-Doh. So
It actually kind of looks like Play-Doh.
it is Play-Doh. You can make your own Play-Doh at home. That's what we're doing here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get our Play-Doh out. And I'm going to just squeeze it up with my hands. And as I squeeze, the color is going to become more and more and more blue. And so just like our Play-Doh was a little too dry, if your Play-Doh is a little too wet, you can add a tiny bit more flour, and the flour will make your Play-Doh a little bit less sticky and easier to play with. So there we have, say hello. There we have some blue Play-Doh made at home with 1 cup of flour, 1/3 of a cup of salt, 1/2 of a cup of water, 2 teaspoons of oil, a few drops of food coloring, and a few drops of oil for smell. There you go, guys.